Let's get more on this for more on the launch of the AfCFTA Subnational Hub in Ibadan. The Special Advisor on International Trade and AfCFTA to Governor Seyi Makinde, Mrs. Neo Theodore Cheptello, joins us on the program from Botswana. Thank you for joining us today. Great to see you. A wave to you
Thank
too.
you so much. Thank
Right.
you so much.
So,
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here on
yeah,
channel.
yes, certainly. We're happy to have you as well. So tell us more about this initiative. I just heard that your state is the first subnational, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa, to be part of this pilot phase. How will residents or people in Oyo State that are going to benefit from this? How would Oyo State directly benefit, especially the small and medium enterprises, particularly local farmers and artisans? Yes.
Thank you so much for that fantastic question. Absolutely, we're quite excited as Oyo State, as you have just mentioned, that we are not just the first subnational in Nigeria, but we are the first subnational in Africa. And the pronouncement has already been made by His Excellency Wamkele Mene, who is the Secretary General championing this whole African agenda. What does it mean to the local farmers, our domestic traders? This means that there is huge business development that will happen within the enterprises, the domestic enterprises. This means that there is a scaling up of production within the enterprises, the SMEs, as you have said, or rather the MSMEs, as you have mentioned. It means that there is an opportunity not just within the 8 million plus market within our domestic environment as Oyo State, but it means that we are now positioned to even further trade with the West Africa region, to trade with the entire African region. So I would like to mention that while the federal government was the signatory to the entire framework, it is very important to note that this strategy is not like just any other strategy. It is an instrument in its own fashion. It is a very empowered blueprint in its own fashion. Why? Because through the strategy, as a state, we're also able to leverage on the funds that are available, the Pan-African funds that are available, to be able to help states develop, especially development which is directly tied to the AfCFTA. So our traders will be able to benefit from us as a government being able to also accelerate our infrastructure. Obviously, when more infrastructure is there, then there is the consequence is such that there is more ease of environment. Also, the other benefit to our MSMEs is that with the strategy now moving forward, we will be drawing up what we call an action plan. So if you're to go through the strategy, it will be able to demonstrate your short-term wins and the long-term wins. So within our short-term wins, that is where we now focus on development of programs that will be able to support our MSMEs to be able to scale up their production. The short term would also be able to assist on how we further facilitate our traders to be able to tap into the external market. So that would be the direct wins.
Right, and it's such a huge milestone, and I believe Oyo State is coming from a place of strength for it to be the first subnational in the whole of the African continent to benefit from
Absolutely.
This first. So what was the criteria? What did the organization see in Oyo State that it was given such a huge position?
Well, I think we really ought to give credit to Governor Makinde. As you have heard in the clip that you had played, where His Excellency Mene Wamkele was actually thanking Governor Makinde for his leadership. So one thing we need to understand is that in trade, one cannot be able to move. And when I say one, I mean government itself. Governance cannot be able to proceed in having to open wide the markets and the opportunities for the traders if there's no political will. So I always say that in trade, there is no way we could separate trade from politics. Because now when we speak of trade agreements, whether it's at bilateral or multilateral level, of which in this case, the AfCFTA is a multilateral composition. It needs a political will. So it was not the Secretariat approaching Oyo State. No. It was Makinde making a very targeted decision to say that this AfCFTA opportunity is not going to pass me by. It's not going to pass my government by. It's not going to pass my people by. When that decision was made, the first implementation step was to appoint a special advisor who is experienced not just within the trade, but who is also experienced within the actual agenda of the AfCFTA. So my appointment was part of the implementation. Following that, then we had to then tap into the processes and procedures that have been set by the African Union. Obviously, you're aware that the AfCFTA Secretariat is an African Union. It's an African Union structure. So we had to now begin the processes, of which immediately after my appointment, that is what I had to run with.
Right. I must thank you for your time again. A pleasure speaking to you, and I wish you all the best of luck in your assignment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you to Channels for the support and the publicity.
Right.